Well, how is the Virgo gang today? This is for you if you have Virgo as your sun, moon, rising, or Venus, and you are single and maybe wondering about how to get some information about finding better love partners and what might be holding you back, okay? So we are going to be specifically talking about your subconscious, the things you are unaware of that may be holding you back, that you might want to take a peek at my shadow work playlist and try to work through some things. By definition, these things are things you're not aware of, and we're specifically looking at some things that may be, affecting your ability to manifest romantic partners like you're looking for, right, Virgo gang? So with that being said, let's get started, okay? Let's take a look, Virgo gang. Let's take a look. All right. I think some of you are really overburdened about something and maybe dealing with somebody who broke your heart, possibly with a third party, either a cheater or somebody who bailed on you for somebody else, left you feeling overburdened, like you couldn't get past this thing, okay? May have had very poor communication with this individual or none at all. This is little to no action, and even if you do have the communication, then it's certainly not, what you're hoping for, and again, somebody who kind of juggled you maybe between you and somebody else, or maybe got stuck in the decision-making process of moving forward. And it really left you with, some, real hesitancy of what am I doing wrong, kind of thing. Some of you, and this is what's coming through on this. I mean, some of you really, it's like when these things happen, it's like you're aware of it, but have you dealt with it? There's a difference, right? And, when some of this stuff goes back even to childhood, things that, you're aware that it happened, but at the end of the day, the question is have you sat down and felt the feels kind of thing? And what, my big heartbreak that was the game changer in my own life that finally woke me up to all of the need for this. I didn't cry a tear for 1.5 years after it happened. And I mean, I was upset about it. I was torn up inside. I couldn't sleep at night, couldn't eat, couldn't function, all of that sort of thing. And I was miserable. But yet, at the same time, I was not dealing with it. I was repressing it. And that's what we talk about a lot in my shadow work stuff, okay? This is all based on the teachings of Carl Jung, J-U-N-G, a mental health pioneer. And he talked about the shadow self and the subconscious quite a bit. And here's the problem with having things that you're unaware of that's in there. It is literally what controls every experience of your life, yet you're totally unaware of it. So that's why it's so important to look and see, what happens or what's there. And how it happens is, we have things like this that happen to us, right? Where we're juggled, where maybe we're ghosted or blocked or, traumatic, whatever the case may be. And then, instead of dealing with it, we kind of bury it, and it becomes basically in the back of our closet, tucked away in a suitcase underneath, a pile of shoes or what have you. And we think it's hidden, but it's, it's really not. And, it can manifest itself in a number of ways. The need to work through things, certainly temper issues, being triggered by stuff or whatever the case may be. And then, sometimes it's like a fleeting thought and you'll think, oh, that's not really how I feel. But really, you need to kind of go inside and just take a self-inventory like I describe. And I'll tell you how to do all that in that stuff if you really kind of want to do this stuff. But some of you really are dealing with some self-esteem issues. Some of you are really, really worried about what other people think of you. And you allow that to affect you more than you should. Because at the end of the day, the only opinion that matters is yours about you, okay? And at the end of the day, other people's opinions of you have nothing to do with how you really are. It's like whether or not you can lay your own head on your own pillow at night and feel like you've done the best that you can to be the best that you could be for the day, right? Other ways that the shadow can manifest is if, you are still hung up on something and, you feel like you want to get back at somebody. Maybe you want to flex on social media and show them that you're past them. But even in doing so, that really is an indication that you're not quite, you know, past all of this. And what happens is those toxic beliefs that you're not aware of, you carry into the next relationship, and you attract somebody vibrationally just like that. And then it ends up in another debacle, and you end up on this hamster wheel. And then what happens then is you start to feel like, well, all I can attract are jerks that treat me bad. And then that reinforces yet another belief, okay, that is self-limiting. And so, you know, and at the end of the day, you know, you're reminded you do have it what it takes. You have everything that you need. You are a warrior and a winner. I mean, we all are. We just haven't stepped into that yet. And it's about stepping into that power, you know. And right now, many of you are at a crossroads, as you know, and you're kind of looking at things. But, you know, my thing to you is this: if what you're doing isn't working, try something different and give it more than a couple of days, because just like a diet plan or a workout plan, it takes longer than 2 days for me to go down 3 dress sizes. You know, at the end of 2 days, you know, I'm going to be hungry. I'm going to be hurting physically and mentally. And I'm probably not going to feel very good because my body is detoxing from carbs or what have you, right? But, you know, after a month, I might start to have a lot more energy than I did before it even started, right? And I'll see, you know, some changes in the way that I look. And after 2 months, even better. Well, the same is true when you're working inside on your heart and your spirit. It's the same kind of thing. You know, after a few weeks or a month, you'll start to feel fleeting moments of peace. And then after a few more weeks, it'll get better. And then after a few more weeks kind of thing, okay? And so that's kind of how this thing works. And, you know, and it's starting a journey. You can't get in a hurry on this thing either, okay? And one thing that I always like to point out in this series is this, is so important: self-care. Do things to take care of yourself during the time that you're working on shadow work. Very, very important, okay? Self-care becomes self-preservation, particularly during times when you are working on your inner person, okay? Because you at the end of the day, you have to put yourself first, really, always, because if you're not pouring from a full cup, then you can't take care of anyone else around you. So at the end of the day, that's why I always say, you know, taking care of yourself first is the most selfless thing that you can do. And you owe it to yourself to give this gift of healing to yourself, okay? And trust and believe, none of us have arrived. We are all still working through things. I mean, I'm right here with you, okay? You know, I, of course, do personal readings, and I do one-on-ones with, you know, if you need a leg up in your healing and you're just kind of feeling like, you know, you've got some blockages and, you know, you need some help kind of identifying those, I'm here. And I'm getting some good feedback from that already. From doing that. So I'm super excited about that. And all of that information is in detail in my description box below this video if you're interested in pursuing that further, okay? But at any rate, that's kind of what I see. And, you know, you're kind of advised with this death card, don't resist transformation. This is about clearing out old toxic stuff, right? And bringing in the new, okay? Making room for better. And that's really what this is about. So, you know, I think some of you don't realize the fact that other people's opinions are greatly affecting you. I don't think you realize how overburdened something or some things has really gotten you. And some of you, it's an issue of people pleasing, where you're dealing with codependency, where and instead of you kind of speaking your truth in kindness, you are, you know, trying to be and say what other people want to hear, or what you think they want to hear, and be what they want to be, when in fact, the most beautiful person you can be, the most attractive, the most sexy, the smartest, is just being your authentic self. And how you find that is going inside and doing that shadow work, doing the daily meditation. Those are ways that you find you, the authentic you, where you are your most effective, beautiful, sexy, hot, you know, all of those things, right? And you'll attract somebody who sees your value. But you got to see your value before somebody else can, right? You got to love yourself before somebody else can. You got to be comfortable spending time alone with you before you can expect somebody else to enjoy your company, right? It's all about that. So that's why I always say, you know, people shouldn't try to come together out of loneliness. Many times people do, right? So I'm going to pull you guys, Virgo, some additional advice from the tarot real quick. And I hope this has helped, you know, as far as kind of identifying some of what some of you may be dealing with that you probably are not aware of, okay? This has been an intense series already, and it has, of course, forced me to look in the mirror as well. You know, the first thing that happens when you hold a mirror up to somebody else, it comes right back at you. So trust and believe. It has taken me to new depths in dealing with areas in my own self. So we're all in this together, okay? Don't feel alone. You are not, okay? One thing I can say is, having gone through this a lot over the past several years, you know, is that it's much easier to do now because I know what's happening. I know what's happening energetically, and I know how to work with it. It's still hard, okay? It is. It's not for sissies, but then again, neither is being stuck and having repeated, you know, rejection, relationship failures, and that sort of thing, okay? So that's why I always say, just, you know, give it a try, right? What can it hurt to try something different? Because if what you're doing is not working, right? Oh. So, okay, we're just going to pull all of these out. All right, so, you know, it's all about being divinely guided and trusting the process, okay, and stepping into your power. You know, at the end of all this, and I can speak from experience on this, you know, a huge part of raising your vibration so that you become better at manifesting everything, not just love, is working on your shadow. And when you start working through that stuff, and then you start doing the daily meditation, and you start working law of attraction, all of those things, you become a master at manifesting whatever the heck you want. And that's what this card really represents, okay? This is the card of patience and balance and trusting the process many times, okay? And the Wheel of Fortune, you know, it came out in reverse. So some of you feel stuck. Some of you even feel like you've given up and you've hit rock bottom. But such is not the case. You know, by doing this, you can make this thing turn in your favor. Yes, you can. And this is the voice of experience. I've tried a lot of things that didn't work, and I'm telling you about the thing that did, okay? And I was over 50 before I discovered these nuggets of truth that I am sharing with you. And when I found and tasted peace for the first time, I couldn't shut up about it, right? And part of the reason that I'm here is I hope to help other people that might need help. And if I can help them, then great, you know. Show the world the real you, Aquarian energy, okay? But look, it's all about you finding yourself so that you can show the world who is authentically who you are, right? Confidence is your key to success. And you get that, again, by going down into that shadow, working through self-esteem issues and how you value yourself and what you feel like you're worth, and whether you feel like you can even attract, you know, a person as, you know, with the same type of connection. Now, you can attract whatever you want to attract. Trust and believe. That is up to you, whether or not, you know, what limits you set for yourself, okay? Some of you, a personal issue is going to reach resolution with that card, okay? Cancerian energy, for what it's worth, okay? And so let's pull some quotes for you real quick, Virgo gang. I hope these are helpful. You know, I hope these, a lot of the messages that I say in these really overlap. So if I were you, you know, as I've told other people, I would watch probably every one of them, because I say different things that could apply to any of you guys, okay? So with that being said, I like this. Needing to be busy all the time is a trauma-based response and a fear-based distraction from what you would otherwise be forced to face, right? Sometimes that you have to get still and get alone and just face things, okay? And I talk about that a lot in my shadow work stuff, and I will link that in a comment below this video. And let's see here. And I'm fixing me, because sometimes I'm the problem. There you go. You got to be open to new ideas and open to saying, okay, I do have a problem here. You know, the common denominator is, you know, and it has nothing to do with how you acted, okay? You may have treated somebody or people along your journey just fine. It has nothing to do with that. It's where you are vibrationally, and has to do with your beliefs and your subconscious, that's the hand that rocks the cradle. And this is the explanation all day long of why bad things happen to seemingly great people. It has nothing to do with what they have earned and their just rewards and karma rewarding, you know, good behavior and punishing bad behavior. Certainly, you know, if people are vibing in such a way to treat people bad, well, they're going to attract crap too. But, you know, sometimes it has to do with our beliefs about what we deserve, okay? And stepping into, you know, being, treating people like we want to be treated, and treating ourselves like we want to be treated. Very important. You have to do that before you can treat anyone else with anything, okay? And this is so important. We talked about stepping into your authentic self. You don't hate yourself. What you hate is not being yourself. There you go. Okay. Thank you so much, Virgo. As always, it is an honor and a pleasure to read for you. If you want to hit me up for a personal reading, you can see how to do so in the description box below. And if you want some help with mentoring from Auntie Karen, you can see how to do that in the description box below this video. Much love to all of you guys.